Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. I'm not sure whether you realize by now that most of a narcissist's energy is focused on how to get narcissistic supply. So, what happens when the narcissist can't go about narcissistic business as usual because of uncontrollable events? Such things as a global crisis, for example. Sadly, many of you are experiencing exactly what happens in times like these, which is what I'm going to talk about in today's Thriver TV episode. But before I get started, I'd like to thank all of you who are supporting the Thriver mission and the real truth that we can heal for real from narcissistic abuse as a result of subscribing to my channel. And I'd like to remind you that if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so that you can help spread the word. All right, so let's get going on today's episode. Let's have a look at the inner gnawing trauma of a narcissist. There are some people who find it difficult to spend time alone without distractions. And this is always for the same reason, because of the difficulty to find peace with one's inner being. Narcissists take this discomfort to an extreme. The reason why is because their inner true self has become discarded. It has been discarded by the narcissist. They believe that this inner identity is not sufficient to cope in life. And this is why there has been the construction and activation of a false self in its place. This false self is always hungry. The narcissist needs the regular hit of narcissistic supply, which means attention, good or bad, it makes no difference, from outside forces to be able to bolster the narcissist's feelings of personal significance. The problem is it's a never-ending requirement. Because there is no true self at the helm, the narcissist is snapped off from being able to source his or her good feelings directly through life force, source, consciousness. In other words, his or her higher self. And therefore, real and lasting feelings of peace, wholeness, and well-being are impossible. Because of this, the narcissist's inner self-annihilating critic is always threatening to emerge with the feedback that reminds the narcissist just how inadequate, broken, defective, and unacceptable he or she really feels. Narcissistic supply is the drug that the narcissist frenetically hunts and feeds on to numb out and escape the truth about him or herself. This is a relentless, lifetime pursuit for a narcissist. As we're about to examine this situation where COVID-19 makes the obtaining of narcissistic supply extremely difficult. All right, and self-isolation, what does it mean to a narcissist? Being unable to be out in the world garnishing narcissistic supply is a narcissist's worst nightmare. In lockdown, not only is narcissistic supply harder to come by, it also means that the narcissist is being told what to do. Narcissists hate being pinned down. They hate having to follow rules and regulations in a way that goes way over and above the normal feelings that self-isolation might bring up for people. Narcissists believe that they are a law unto themselves above reproach and not answerable to anybody. To go along with any requirements with the rest of the world or anybody at all means that they would become just like everybody else. That's unthinkable for a narcissist. So what does this time of COVID-19 amount to for a narcissist? This. A narcissist being horrible. He or she will be suffering horrific narcissistic injuries and narcissistic supply withdrawals constantly. So what does this mean for you? It means that the narcissist is likely to lash out in nasty or manipulative ways that are focused on one or two possible agendas: securing much needed narcissistic supply, and spewing the viciousness of their inner annihilating wounds all over you. Some of you may have thought, now that this person can't just run off and do whatever they want to do, that it would bring you closer to them. However, I can assure you that self-isolation with a narcissist is certainly not the togetherness or the teamwork that you would hope it is. At all. Let's have a look at if you are co-parenting with a narcissist, whether or not you're locked down with them. During this time of coronavirus, many of you have reported extremely frustrating struggles with a narcissist. Of course, you are feeling triggered about whether this person is self-isolating or doing the right thing by your child. The answer is they probably aren't. And this is where you need to go back to the absolute truth of how to deal with a narcissist. The more that you try to get the narcissist to do the right thing, the more the narcissist will do the wrong thing, simply because it extracts so much narcissistic supply, attention from you, and energy. You know, I say the same thing always, and currently it is more important than ever. I can't recommend enough that you detach. Keep releasing the trauma that you're feeling, that is being activated within you, and do everything in your power to be a whole, safe, and healthy parent when you have your child with you. This is only possible when you can release those feelings of being so disturbed and triggered. Additionally, what you will find is that the narcissist will desist from a lot of the behavior and ways that he or she has been hurting you and your child when they receive zero narcissistic supply from you. That's the thing about narcissists. The energy expended to get narcissistic supply means that there has to be a payoff to continue it. If there isn't a payoff, then the narcissist will focus on getting narcissistic supply from somewhere else. As many of you have discovered, my NARC program is a powerful and effective way to reach this level of detachment. Okay, let's have a look at how this can be a time of intense hoovering. Absolutely, narcissists stuck with being with themselves without the drama, distractions, and frenetic energy of the world are very low on narcissistic supply. However, we know with technology being what it is, they are very capable of reaching out to people past and present to try to hook them up for an energetic feed again. It's so important that if you are done with a narcissist and are focused on your own healing, that you block him or her. Don't allow a Hoover to get through to you, because it's no compliment at all. If any communication is necessary, such as in the case of property settlement or joint custody, then set up third-party contacts, such as through a solicitor or the wonderful parallel parenting tool, which is our Family Wizard. These steps allow you to have strong boundaries around yourself and your soul and your life, which means I am no longer available as your snack when you're in need of a feed. And again, being hoovered by a narcissist is no compliment at all. It doesn't mean that they love you. To the narcissist, you are a mere object, there to give the terribly insecure ego a hit to help grant the narcissist significance. And it comes at a terrible price to you because you are being used. There is no genuine care for you, remorse for what happened, or intention to grant you healthy or happy behavior in the future. You are only necessary to them so that they can siphon you out for their false self's energy needs. And then when that is done, you are just as likely to be discarded and thrown in the gutter as you were last time. It's so important to understand this so that you don't go there. All right, if the narcissist has lost their job, it's likely you'll be blamed, or the narcissist will play on your heartstrings to get you to financially support them, or just simply guilt you or demand that you do. Or the narcissist will jump ship onto a better deal that will provide what the narcissist needs to buffer up their false self again. It's definitely not likely that you'll be dealing with a stable, calm, resourceful, adaptable person who takes personal responsibility for their life. All right, so shoring yourself up against a narcissist in crisis. My heart goes out to all of you who are dealing with a narcissist during this pandemic. I know that the suffering that you are going through is indescribable, but yet there is a huge opportunity to up-level, even as hard as it may seem to do so. It's so true in times of calamity that we have the grist and the impetus to go for our greatest growth because we need to. I know that there are many of you in this amazing community who have really knuckled down into your deep inner work and are emerging stronger and stronger against narcissists as a result of this. In many cases, this is despite everything that the narcissist is trying to throw at you. I am so proud of you, those of you who are doing that. And for those of you who don't yet know how this is possible and can't even imagine getting there, I promise you with all my heart that it is possible and you can achieve this. And I'm completely dedicated to helping you achieve this. And to help you do this, I'm opening up another free masterclass, which I know is really needed at this time. It begins on April 29th. And in this special event, I share with you real processes to get relief, take your power back, and break the binds from any narcissist in your life, regardless of how much they've hurt or damaged you. Even despite the predicament that you may be in right now. And please know that if you can't make this event live, you can receive a recording as a result of signing up, which you can watch and listen to at any time that suits you in the comfort of your own home. And of course, hopefully when the narcissist isn't around or when you've got some space from him or her. And again, this event is completely free and I know how much it can help you. I can't wait to join you in it. So you can join by clicking the link at the top right of this video. And as always, I look forward to answering your comments and your questions below. So until next time, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.